Yo, this is Skater Novus 91, and in this daily coaching newsletter, I'll be talking about relationship difficulties and my experience and other people's experience in it too. And completely, what I'm going to talk about is how to not use advice to take shortcuts, but to have your own experience, your own failures, and not to learn fast, but decide to ease as slow as possible. And it's very lovely to do because here's the thing: if you're in a rush and you're in a rush to get what you want, you're never gonna feel really appreciative for a long term time, you know. But if you actually hone in to like your your own perspective and your own momentum to be able to go as slow as possible in your learnings, you'll have long term feelings of joy, happiness. And that's not the American goal dream, you know what I mean? It's just how it is, right? I don't say things for how it is though. I'm so I'm a it's a little different, you know? But honestly, I want to talk about like why problems in relationships happen. It's testing the limits, and testing the limits is not very good of an idea to do. The push and pull method's right. You forget about the freeze and the different territorial mindsets we have, and also plugging in the idea of relationship dysphoria and stuff like that comes into fruition, and you really see the variety of learning that you learn in relationships wherever you go. So there was this person, was a friend of mine that had a very not bad person, but a person that was very she complained a lot, and she had a lot of issues with her physical body, and she would always kind of not nag but complain to my friend, and my friend found it irritating. Their relationship was very rocky. They argued a lot, sometimes cussed at each other, probably many times. And I know there's a lot of relationships out there like that. I honestly, I've never had like a full-on relationship that's lasted as long as theirs, like 1 to 2 years. It was lovely at first, but then it went into kind of like a not a spiral, but issues at hand. Obviously, there was cheating involved and a lot of other issues. Now, the thing that happened was that she didn't work and he did work in two jobs, and she would always bother him when he was working, and they would also argue about their physical ailments and stuff, and it'd be irritating for them both. The girl felt like the guy didn't understand like what was trying to come out through, you know. She was trying to get some value out of the relationship, but he was more concerned mostly not technically about himself. He still cared, but he was a bit of a not a bad boy. He's a good guy, but it was one of his first relationships, and it's difficult for that sort of thing, you know. But I'm not saying the name because you don't need to know. But the relationship ended, and both of them probably learned from the experience. But some people don't remain friends after relationships. And what I gotta say is that you gotta be in a sort of relationship where you can argue or discuss things, but it needs doesn't have to remain pure altogether, but has to have some momentum, some meaning, some anchor that pulls you together. Honestly, I know how it is. Like when you know a person for a while, you start to get to know their real personage and stuff, the real person right in front of your eyes. But is it really the real? Is the sharing of who they are really there? Because if you can't share enough with yourself in the moment, even I can't, it's like, what are you supposed to do about that? How are you supposed to convey it? It's not about showing your real self altogether, because as I say always, we live in multiplicity of character in scenario after scenario. We play the scenarios in our head from different versions of ourselves we show to different people that are similar but different. And it's just like that, you know? But even if that sounds like a phrase of words, a poetry, it's not exactly the truth, but it's a version of an opinionated truth, which is kind of partial and not exactly full, you know? But there's so many different types of ways you can say it, but it's not. Don't think the truth is one thing only. It's it's so bizarre. It's like that. So if you really want to have a relationship that's stable, you gotta bring to the table something very, very unique without concerning value in spirit, soul, ego, identity. Something different. It's not more or less, you know? And you gotta see beyond just love, beyond your selfishness to want to get what you want, like fuck or do all that stuff, you know? Like, obviously that's something, but you don't have to really focus on that, you know? You can spend your time doing that, but communication is important. And when you communicate, you can actually learn about another person and get involved. And there's been people that I've really communicated well with before in the past, and it felt great. It felt awesome. Felt like I was really understanding someone else's world. I don't know if it was bad to do that, but it taught me some really good lessons and bad lessons. And I had my share of my relationship. I'm not going to share it, but let's just say it didn't work out. And uh, because of economic issues. And that's how it is sometimes. But I haven't had a girlfriend in a while, but I still give out advice because I don't give a shit. I can still give advice even if I haven't had experience because you can do that. And I hone into it and I understand that I can do it. I don't have to feel bad about it. And just know that you can really get the person you want. But when you get what you want, you don't always cherish it for too long because you add value to stuff. And some people say love is what surrounds emotions. It's that that thing, that building block. But I disagree. It's just something, you know. You don't have to complicate it. And then I have arguments with my friends like, "Oh, you're too simple. Oh no, you're too complicated. Oh, you're too simple." And this type of like communication and like discussions are so bland. Doesn't matter. But I'm not angry at anyone. I'm not upset. Honestly, I feel like there could be more interesting things to bring to the table, like a lot of stuff to entail, and it's it's pretty legit. I'm gonna drink more of this coffee that I left. It's a caramelizer blended 4 shots, I think, or 3. And damn, it's giving me some energy, but I fall off the ladder a little bit. Feel a little bit of mood swings. Not much anxiety because I don't feel exact anxiety anymore. But it's like that when you're having difficulties with mentality. Yeah. Anyways, comment, subscribe, share, and keep watching these videos because they're great for you. And not positive, not negative, not neutral. It's a little different, but keep in touch.